former Eccles landfill worker sentenced to 11.5 years for attempted murder. Guyana Times, Ryan Lowe, 34, has been sentenced to 11.5 years in prison for the attempted murder of his co-worker, Leroy Cummings, at the Eccles landfill site in 2016. The sentence was delivered by Justice Sandal Kasun at the Demerara High Court on Monday after Lowe pleaded guilty to the charge. The incident occurred on November 23, 2016, when Lowe launched a brutal attack on Cummings, leaving him with life-altering injuries. According to police reports, Cummings was asleep at the landfill worksite when Lowe, who had been drinking with others nearby, approached and accused him of theft. The confrontation escalated, and Lowe used a knife to stab Cummings multiple times before fleeing the scene. The attack resulted in severe injuries, including the amputation of Cummings' left arm, which significantly impacted his ability to work and live independently. Lowe evaded capture for 3 years, remaining on the run until his arrest in late 2019. He was charged with attempted murder and remanded to prison. Legal proceedings were delayed as authorities awaited key evidence, including medical reports. During sentencing, Justice Kasun highlighted the premeditated and brutal nature of the attack, acknowledging the profound emotional, physical, and financial toll on the victim. The court emphasized the need for the sentence to reflect the gravity of the crime and serve as a deterrent to others. The sentence takes into account the severity of the injuries inflicted, Lowe's actions, and their long-term impact on Cummings' life. The Guyana police force and the judiciary reaffirmed their commitment to ensuring justice for victims of violent crimes. This ruling underscores the importance of accountability and the legal system's role in addressing acts of violence. Minor fatally stabbed in Middle Mazaruni River incident. The Guyana police force is investigating the fatal stabbing of 37-year-old minor Ava James of Madia, Region 8, which occurred on Tuesday at 9 miles Backdam, Honeycamp, Middle Mazaruni River. Preliminary investigations revealed that the suspect, identified as Nige, a Brazilian national whose full identity remains unknown, allegedly stabbed Mr. James during an argument. Both men were employed by Alistair Culpepper, a 41-year-old gold miner. The incident occurred at approximately 7 a.m. following a night of drinking at Honey Camp Landing, where workers from the dredge operation had gathered after a day's work. According to Rebecca Anton, a 45-year-old cook and Mr. James' reputed wife, she noticed that Mr. James was intoxicated early Tuesday morning and escorted him back to camp. Upon arrival, they encountered the suspect, who was consuming high wine at a table. A disagreement broke out between the two men over their employment, escalating into a violent confrontation. The suspect armed himself with a knife and fatally stabbed Mr. James in the lower abdomen. The injury caused Mr. James' intestines to protrude, and he succumbed to the wound shortly after. Police arrived at the scene and transported Mr. James' body to the Asano Health Post, where he was pronounced dead. Efforts are ongoing to locate the suspect, who fled the scene after the incident. The Guyana police force urges anyone with information regarding the suspect's whereabouts to come forward to assist with the investigation. This tragic incident highlights the need for increased safety measures in remote mining camps. Further updates will be provided as the investigation progresses. Car destroyed by fire in Roxanne Burnham Gardens, Georgetown. A gray Mazda Axela, registration number PXX6807, was completely destroyed by fire early Wednesday morning in Roxanne Burnham Gardens, Georgetown. The vehicle, owned by 28-year-old Lisa Harriman, was parked outside her residence on Tuesday night around 11 p.m. According to police reports, the fire broke out at approximately 2:30 a.m. on Wednesday. Ms. Harriman was alerted to the blaze by loud screams. Upon investigation, she discovered her car engulfed in flames. The Guyana Fire Service responded promptly and extinguished the fire. The cause of the fire is currently unknown, and an investigation has been launched by the relevant authorities to determine the circumstances leading to the incident. The Guyana Fire Service and the police are urging members of the public to report any suspicious activities or provide information that could assist with the ongoing investigation. Authorities remind vehicle owners to remain vigilant and consider implementing safety measures to protect their property. Further updates on the investigation will be provided as more information becomes available. Sophia Man dies days after assault over alleged theft. Guyana Times, Devon Nigel Williams, a 28-year-old resident of Seafield Sophia, Greater Georgetown, has died days after being assaulted in an incident linked to an accusation of theft. Williams succumbed to his injuries on Tuesday, November 26, following a violent altercation on November 22. According to his mother, Dorette and LaRose, a clothes vendor, she was informed on November 22 that her son was found injured beneath the Special Constabulary outpost steps at Stabroek Market with a wound to his head. When Ms. LaRose arrived at the scene, Williams told her that he had been attacked and chopped by an individual known as Stitchy, who accused him of theft. Emergency medical technicians, EMTs, transported Williams to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where he was treated and discharged. On the morning of November 26, at approximately 7 a.m., Ms. LaRose checked on her son at home and found him lying motionless on his bed. Medical personnel later pronounced him dead. An examination of Williams' body revealed multiple injuries, including wounds to his left thigh, right hand, right shin, left elbow, forehead, and jaw. Old bruises on his back, ankles, and heel. Law enforcement officials have questioned several individuals as part of their ongoing investigation. Efforts are being made to locate the suspect known as Stitchy. The Guyana police force urges anyone with information about the incident or the whereabouts of Stitchy to come forward. All information will be treated with the utmost confidentiality. Minibus driver sentenced to 2 months for dangerous driving. In Guyana, a minibus driver from Deadwards Village, West Bank Burbis, Region 5, has been sentenced to 2 months imprisonment following traffic violations that endangered public safety. Orlando Trim, 34, appeared before Magistrate Ravindra Mohabir at the Blairmont Magistrate Court on Tuesday, where he faced 3 charges: dangerous driving, failure to ensure the safety of a passenger, and breaching the conditions of his road service license. The charges arose from a November 12 incident on the Rossignol Public Road, where Trim allowed a schoolchild to cling to the back of his moving minibus, posing a significant risk to the child and other road users. Trim pleaded guilty to all 3 charges. He was fined 5,000 Guyanese dollars for failure to ensure the safety of a passenger. Fined 5,000 Guyanese dollars for breaching the conditions of his road service license. Sentenced to 2 months imprisonment for dangerous driving. This case underscores the need for strict adherence to traffic regulations to ensure public safety. The Guyana Police Force reminds all drivers of their responsibility to operate vehicles in a manner that prioritizes the safety of passengers, pedestrians, and other road users. The police force continues to enforce road safety measures and urges citizens to report any reckless or dangerous driving they witness. By working together, the community can help make the nation's roads safer for everyone. Attorney General Anil Nandlall dismisses accusations by Melly Atwell. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Anil Nandlall, has dismissed allegations made by Melly Atwell, a New York-based social media activist, that he shared confidential information with her regarding high-ranking officials and sensitive matters. Mr. Nandlall, a senior member of the ruling People's Progressive Party, PPP, refuted the claims, describing them as baseless and lacking credibility. Not at all. Absolute nonsense. It has no credibility, and I challenge her and anyone else to prove me wrong, Mr. Nandlall said during a press briefing on Wednesday. Despite speculation surrounding the potential political fallout, Mr. Nandlall, widely regarded as a strong contender for the presidency in the 2030 general and regional elections, asserted that the accusations posed no threat to his political future. I don't know the woman. I never spoke to the woman. I never met the woman, he stated. The Attorney General highlighted his ongoing legal actions against Ms. Atwell, including a more than 100 million Guyanese dollars lawsuit. While he has refrained from extensive commentary on the case, Mr. Nandlall challenged Ms. Atwell to substantiate her claims with evidence. You have seen 6 days have passed, and where is this volume of evidence she has that connects me to her, he questioned. Mr. Nandlall reaffirmed his commitment to transparency and accountability, dismissing the accusations as a distraction from his work and public responsibilities. The Attorney General emphasized that the matter would be dealt with through the appropriate legal channels, and he urged the public to remain focused on the government's developmental agenda. Fire completely destroys Kaieteur News and Bhena's Footwear warehouse, resulting in hundreds of millions in losses. A massive fire has completely destroyed the warehouse of Kaieteur News, KN, and Bhena's Footwear, located at the Eccles industrial site, East Bank Demerara, EBD. The devastating blaze has left owners Nandlall, publisher of Kaieteur News, and his wife, Bhena Lall, with losses estimated in the hundreds of millions of dollars. The inferno, which began around 4 p.m. on Tuesday, rapidly consumed the 10,000-square-foot facility, destroying all contents within. The warehouse was used to store merchandise for Bhena's Footwear and equipment for Kaieteur News. Firefighters battled the flames for over 4 hours, eventually containing the blaze, but the damage was already done. Employees on the scene made efforts to salvage items but were only able to recover a few. Speaking at the scene, Nandlall described the tragic incident. I got a call that my building is on fire and came down here. I had helped out a friend with a section of the warehouse where he was storing goods. He said some electrical wires sparked, causing the fire. The fire quickly spread to other sections of the warehouse, which held new merchandise, including 3 containers of shoes and valuable items stored just last week. Printing equipment for Kaieteur News was also completely destroyed. Lall remarked, the warehouse was full with shoes, plus electrical fittings for the store. I had some Kaieteur News printing equipment, all gone. The fire spread too quickly and the goods were mostly in cardboard boxes. Despite firefighters' efforts, the fire left the building entirely gutted. Fortunately, the radio tower for Kaieteur Radio, located within the same compound, escaped damage. However, the radio station is temporarily off the air. The tragedy struck on a particularly poignant day, as it coincided with Bhena Lall's birthday. Glenn Lall expressed deep sorrow for the loss but vowed resilience. It is absolutely devastating, but I will pick up the pieces and move forward. This is all a part of life, you know, but I will tread on. Fire Chief Gregory Wickham, present at the scene, declined to comment as investigations are ongoing. Authorities continue to assess the full extent of the damage and determine the cause of the fire. This unfortunate incident highlights the importance of stringent safety measures in industrial facilities. Further updates will be provided as the investigation unfolds. Fire destroys 2-story house in Linden. The Guyana Fire Service, GFS, responded to a fire that caused extensive damage to a wooden and concrete 2-story building at Lot 9, 2nd Alley, Vismar, Linden, earlier today. The incident, reported at 2:43 p.m., saw fire crews arriving promptly at 2:49 p.m. The affected property, measuring approximately 11.6 meters by 6.6 meters, was occupied by 39-year-old Terrence Waddle. Ownership of the property is shared by Ann Fraser, 66, Elizabeth McBean, 62, and Patricia McBean, 67, all residents of the United States. Firefighting efforts. A team of 7 firefighters, led by leading fireman Lovell, tackled the blaze using water tender number 119 and water carrier number 12. 2 jets from water carrier number 12, supported by IPA-9 and tank supplies, were deployed to bring the fire under control. Despite the team's swift and coordinated efforts, the building and its contents suffered extensive damage. Fortunately, no injuries were reported, and no residents were displaced. Investigation underway. Preliminary findings indicate that the fire was maliciously set by unknown individuals. The GFS's Fire Prevention Department has launched an investigation to determine the cause and identify those responsible. The Guyana Fire Service commends the prompt actions of its personnel in preventing further destruction and urges the public to assist with the investigation. Any information that may aid in identifying the perpetrators is encouraged and can be reported to the relevant authorities. This incident underscores the importance of community vigilance and cooperation in preventing and addressing acts of arson. The GFS remains committed to safeguarding lives and properties across Guyana. 193 grams of narcotic found at Baramita, NWD. On Tuesday, November 26, 2024, at approximately 18:30 HRS, police ranks from Regional Division No. 1, acting on a tip-off, conducted a search of a shop located at Baramalline, Baramita. The shop, owned by Ian Park, was being managed by 22-year-old minor, UC Jones, of Bartica. With Jones's consent, the ranks searched the premises and discovered the following items concealed under the shop counter. 12 transparent Ziploc parcels containing seeds, leaves, and stems suspected to be cannabis. 1 black plastic bag containing a quantity of cannabis. The suspected narcotics, weighing a total of 193 grams, were seized by the police. Jones was subsequently arrested and is currently in custody assisting with the investigation. The Guyana Police Force remains committed to combating illegal drug activities and ensuring the safety and security of all citizens. Agriculture Ministry to intensify market price monitoring ahead of holiday season. The Ministry of Agriculture, through the New Guyana Marketing Corporation, New GMC, will step up its monitoring and reporting of market prices for fresh and agro-processed commodities as the holiday season approaches. This initiative is part of ongoing efforts to keep consumers informed about price trends in major markets across Guyana. Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa recently announced the intensification of the program, emphasizing its importance during the festive period when consumer spending typically increases. We know that consumers usually have more spending power during the holiday season, with more being spent on fresh and agro-processed commodities, Minister Mustafa stated. A few months ago, I tasked the new GMC with providing daily market updates for major markets across the country. As we head into the Christmas season, These efforts will be intensified to ensure consumers are aware of what is available and the prices they are being sold at. Government support for lowering production costs. While the government does not enforce price controls, significant steps are being taken to minimize food production costs. According to Minister Mustafa, the ministry is providing essential agricultural inputs such as seeds, planting materials, pesticides, and fertilizers to farmers. Investments are being made in research, climate-smart agriculture techniques, and critical infrastructure, including farm-to-market roads, processing facilities, pump stations, and sluices. Livestock and poultry are being distributed to support farmers in boosting production. Our interventions aim to address production challenges and ensure farmers can bring their goods to market affordably, ultimately benefiting consumers, the minister explained. Enhanced consumer awareness for the festive season. To help consumers make informed purchasing decisions, the ministry will begin posting daily market price updates on its social media platforms starting in December. Additionally, plans are underway to monitor and share prices for basic commodities in popular supermarkets across the country. The ministry is also exploring partnerships with agencies such as the Ministry of Tourism, Industry, and Commerce to broaden the scope of these efforts, ensuring transparency and fairness in pricing during the festive period. This initiative underscores the ministry's commitment to fostering a balanced and competitive market environment while supporting both producers and consumers during one of the busiest times of the year.